We are live. Dark day
Live?
in LA. It's a dark day in LA. It's a dark day in LA.
Oh, no, hold on. Don't blow the bag early. Hold on. That might have just took over the whole hour.
It's a dark day in LA. I don't want to hear it. And look, it's a dark day in LA. That's it. Dark day in LA. Disgusted. That's why I got on my Black Lakers hat, T. There's a lot going on tonight. We want our numbers are gonna be low. It's a dark day in LA. I cannot believe what happened. Dark day in LA. What happened? Sick. It's a dark day in LA. Just can't believe it. And that's why I got on my Black Lakers hat. I am not arguing with non-Laker fans. I was happy that a man did what he had to do for his son in a moment, but I get back to being a Laker very fast. And the truth of the matter is, after watching Boston hold the trophy, if you're a Laker fan and you can watch Boston hold the trophy and still root for this, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me as a father. I don't care about the father aspect right now. I give a damn about the fact that the Lakers did not choose what was best to become to get us back to becoming a dynasty. Tito, JJ Redick was not the best coach out there.
No, I don't even, bro. We've never seen this in sports ever. Like, people that think this is common, I get everybody wants to make the analogies of people putting their sons on, but sports wasn't supposed to be about that. This man has single-handedly manipulated how the NBA will operate for decades to come. It's all over. They gave into him. And now we know why Hurley didn't take the job. There's no way he would have left that type of bag on the table if there wasn't some crazy shit attached to it. I guarantee you. And this is craziness because that kid is not – listen, I understand he's a kid, but when you decide to put yourself in the professional draft, you're allowed to get judged as a professional now. And we've seen his body of work. Like you stated earlier, he wasn't the best player on his high school team. He wasn't the best player on his college team. Usually NBA players are the best at both places.
Yo, listen, it's simple. As a father, I get it. You pull the strings to put your kids in position. All of us have a duty to put our kids in the best position as possible. But set that aside because we're talking about sports. Yes, everybody's happy at the fact that for the first time ever, a father and a son can play together. Cool. But why the shit couldn't happen in Chicago? As a Lakers fan, I would have applauded that. I'm a Lakers fan. I just watched the Boston Celtics, the team I despise most in the NBA, hoist a trophy. I despise the Celtics. The Lakers would have so many more championships if it wasn't for the Celtics.
Did the Lakers get better today? Did they get better today?
They didn't get better with JJ Redick. Mark Jackson was out there.
That's the bottom line.
There was a lot of coaches out there, and we couldn't get them because they walked them around and said, hey, by the way, just a heads up, LeBron is picking the second draft pick. You get the first, though, as a head coach. He said, we're not about to be the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. That's why Dallas Cowboys can't get a coach, Tito. Because Jerry Jones won't let nothing go. He wants the power structure. So what do? They draft puppets. So they draft the podcast guy, and everybody go, well, give him a chance. Let's see what he can do. Then they draft LeBron's son. Give him a chance. Let's see what he can do. I don't want to give nobody a chance. The Boston Celtics ain't giving nobody a chance to leaving nothing up for grabs. They're locking in with some of the best players in the world. And the Lakers, one of the greatest organizations on earth, they're telling Laker fans, forget all of y'all. Y'all didn't like Michael Cooper. Y'all didn't like Kurt Rambis. You guys like a man, okay? When he picks up and he goes back to Chicago, you guys are going to go to Chicago. The Lakers will still be here. We dealt with this with LeVar Ball. Oh, he's doing a great thing for us. His son didn't help us win, okay? We want to win. We don't care about your self-soothing, feel-good stories. That's all good and dandy. Kudos to the fathers. But we want to win. The Lakers fans, talk to me as a fan. Stop talking to me as a father. Stop talking to me as a, yo, why can't he do what other people been doing and what the white people been doing for years? Cool, I get all that. Do that over there, though. Because you know what this is about the result, Tito. We going to be hyped up. All on the Shannon Sharp podcast show. If the Lakers just get in, then we're going to be playing in the play-in game.
Yo, Stephen A., I don't believe Stephen A., Shannon Sharp, those dudes that are real sports journalists. I'm dying to see what they say tomorrow. Is Stephen A. on tonight? I'm dying to see what he says tonight. There's no way he's rocking with this. I'd really be shocked if Stephen A. is rocking with this.
I'm disgusted at the move as a Lakers fan. And I'm not arguing with nobody that want to try to act like they're more pro-black and holier than thou. I don't care about that. As a fan of sports, if you make
I don't think this is good for sports. I don't think this is good for sports. I don't think this is good for sports in a holistic picture. I think this is a bad day for sports in general because this dude just strong-armed the situation. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how to say it no other way. He laid his pimp hand down. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, this is how this is going. And let's not act like LeBron is part of that rich history. He's brought him one of many rings. That history, Magic's way more part of it.
Larry said,
Kareem is way more part of it.
I'm upset, brother. I'm upset. Once LeBron retires, Bronny gonna retire along with him, Ben said. Giannis did the same thing for his brother. Cool. Yo, listen, Gil. I'm comfortable with it, but it didn't happen in LA. Like, understand what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. Why didn't he just go back to Cleveland? We could get LeBron out of Dodge. He ain't helping us win no more. Let LeBron go to Cleveland and do it. Kudos. He go back home. It's a rally. You have your son. Love the fight. Listen, to me, LeBron is the greatest NBA player holistically in history, dog. What he done was staying with his wife the entire time. Ain't no scandals. He held it down. He put money back in the community. He did schools. He won. Now, do I think he the greatest skilled basketball player? No, but the greatest NBA player holistically, I will never argue anyone that is LeBron James. But damn it, LeBron should have did this over in Cleveland. Leave LA out of it. We don't want to have nothing to do with it. That's all I'm saying, brother. That's all I'm saying. That is daddy ball. We can no longer talk about daddy ball and youth football, Tito. It's official. You want to play daddy ball? Do it. Incite LeBron. That's what's going to happen.
Yo.
Yes.
Think about Hurley left the bag on the table, and it was a big bag. Now we know why. Now we know why. Now we know why. He left the bag on the table, dog. He left the bag on the table. Like, now we know why. He couldn't live with himself because he comes from a real coaching family. And I know he wasn't going for that. Like, hell, I'm not coming here to be your puppet. You crazy? I'll stay at UConn. I got a dynasty on my hands over there. He probably going to win it again next year as well. Who you texting, dog?
I got all the LeBroners coming at me. You know they're cold. You know they're cold. They're cold because anything that surrounds him.
I'm glad I can't see the comments.
Beyonce Beehive. They're like the Beyonce Beehive. All they care about is that. They don't care about if the Lakers get better. When LeBron leaves and suck the life out of the whole team that he leaves, and everybody disperses and leaves and it blows up, they don't care because they move on to the next team. It's people like me who see the writing on the wall that said, just get LeBron out of LA. Listen, I loved having LeBron in LA. I was an advocate. I was all over social media fighting for him. But at this point, he is not the best player in the NBA. He's one of the upper echelon players in the NBA. I give him kudos at his age. Nobody never seen nothing like it. But it probably was a better move to bring in a younger superstar that you can trade for LeBron at this point. I don't know how Pelinka could have done it. But I can tell you this. Taking Bronny at the 55th spot was not the way. We didn't get better with J.J. Redick and Bronny. And if the goal is to get better as a basketball team, LA cannot tell me they got better in their first round draft pick. I think they could have went a different direction, but I'm not going to argue with that pick. You can't justify it because men like women like numbers don't. All the Jay-Z fans are LeBron fans. And when Jay-Z was beefing with Nas, that's all they cited. Oh, men like numbers don't. He sell more records than Nas. But then Drake came around, and then the Jay-Z fans had to change up their argument because the men like women like numbers don't was a cool, slick comment only pointing to Nas. But then Drake beat him in numbers, so we can't use that argument. Oh, Drake's not a real rapper. So now we deal with this situation. Well, if men like women like numbers don't, LeBron's son shouldn't have got chosen 55th. If they want to stick with their argument. But I get it. You know, the debate is tonight between Trump and Biden. The spin room is open. And I expect to see all of y'all at the spin room at 10 o'clock tonight after the debate. Debating how LeBron, this was a great move for LA. Give him time. He just needs a little bit of time. Lakers fans, calm down. Take a couple seasons. Watch Boston hoist more trophies. I'm a little excited. Let me calm down. I'm a little excited. I'm going to calm down. Let Boston hoist more trophies.
Let's move on. Let's move on with the podcast. Let's move on. Let's get to the football stuff. Let's talk about the combine.
New England Youth Football Combine, man. Yo, so Tito, the combine was dope, bro. The combine was dope. I'm gonna tell you something. We had never seen nothing like it, and obviously, we it was a learning curve for us as well, right? Like, let's be honest. We had things that we had to learn and get better at, but if you think about it, Tito, never in the state of Connecticut for youth had there been a combine, Tito, where we were able to provide what we provided for all of these kids.
They're training all the time. They're not sitting home playing Roblox, you know, when football's off. You know, they're training, guys. You got to work, and that's all the difference, understand? Because fall starts in, 3 weeks? 3 weeks. You know, you guys are out here working, at least. There's kids.
So, Tito, the truth of the matter is we informed these kids, congratulations to Josiah on winning the MVP tug of war as a lineman. The truth is, Tito, we weren't there to coach those kids, and we had notified them of that. We were there strictly as an assessment, right? Strictly, shout out to Dan Barry, strictly as an assessment, Brazilio. As an assessment to take their numbers on what they can do. We saw real 40 times, right? We saw real 40 times being taken. Tito, not by stopwatches. I don't know if I posted the 40 times. Did I post the 40 times, T? I don't know if I posted the 40 runs, but here they go right here, right? Like we're talking, I think I took
in the first section.
Yeah.
Remember one of those pictures, all those pictures in the second session. Maybe you got them in the first session.
I got it. Yo, we took kids' length from 0 to see how long they were, right? Some of them had their arms bent, and we asked them to straighten that out so we can get the truest reading. Next year, we'll have a board behind this to make it a little bit more better. Like I said, I'm okay. I'm willing to point out our flaws because I think it was a dope event. You know what I'm saying? We took their height. We took how long the arms were. We did this stuff to give them a true assessment of where they at. Because the truth of the matter is, Tito, if they came back, and I said this to them, if they're working with a trainer and they come back and they 40 times and all this stuff is the same, then they need to assess who they're working with. And that may sound dirty, Tito, but the truth of the matter is I mean, if I'm not getting faster, and I've worked with you on my speed for over a year, don't you think it's time I work with somebody else? You would move your son. I would move my daughter. And this combine was dope.
Yeah,
we had Mark from Supreme doing 5, 10, 15 times. We had Mud Dog University and yourself doing lineman skills and drills. You can talk about what you did.
No, we did that. We did the L drill. I mean, we did what usually in the combine, they put the big man on the L drill because all the bobbing and weaving in and out, and you want to see them burst in short spurts. So we did that, and that was new for a lot of kids, and it was fun. And then, the big men did the tug of war, which got way more competitive than I anticipated, but the kids had a real ball with that part of it.
We had the quarterback dad.
Yep. We had a whole quarterback circuit, which
I
didn't really get to watch it because I was behind.
Everything he was doing, I post a lot of his stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was real dope. We had Brandon from Elevation Academy doing the 40 times. Mike Brazenio did the long jump, right? Like we had all of these things going down.
And the vertical, right? They did vertical too. They got their verticals.
And they did vertical. And so all
that stuff was laser. All that stuff, the 40, the broad jump, and the vertical was all computerized.
Right, but because we wanted to have accuracy and we wanted it to be real. We didn't want somebody with a stopwatch time in your 40 because we know human error, right? Obviously electronics can have error too, but human error would have played a bigger role, and we tried to be as close as possible for providing these kids with their time of their 40s. You know what I'm saying? And I think we gave them an accurate assessment. My daughter ran twice and got within 0.1 of each time, so we knew it was somewhat accurate. And my daughter's been working hard as well. They said, "Come on, Phil. If LeBron was your son, wouldn't you do that?" Yes, I've said it, but I'm a Lakers fan. Hey, I got a question. Nate, tell me who your football team is. I got to ask you a question. Who is your college football team? So Tito, I just think it was a dope event. Next year, I think it's going to grow. I think we're going to embed it somehow into the All-Star Game, Tito, where you can purchase the All-Star Game, and when you register for the All-Star Game tryout, you can you're registering for the Combine and the All-Star Game. I moved the Combine up ahead of the All-Star Game. So if Tito was coaching 14U next year, hypothetically, Tito, you would know what your running back's running, who's the fastest, who had the fastest 40 time, who can jump the highest.
This is the last hoorah, brother. This is the last hoorah. Let's not talk no other shit in existence right now.
Or somebody else. They would use the Combine, the Combine statistical data and helping them make the decisions on who they want to select for the All-Star Game. And I think that's
listen,
dope.
I think if we'd have did it this year, it would have been a lot less stressful. This was a bit ambitious of us to fit this in during the All-Star Game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that number one, if I had one thing we could have did better, the timing of it. I told you the other little things. It was little things that I thought we could have did better, but we definitely could do a better job with the backdrop and putting that on a flatter surface and getting that whole thing in order. But besides that, I thought for our first time out, I thought it was organized. It went fluidly. Like there was no real bumps in the roads, except like I said, some of the preliminary stuff with us, just not really knowing what we were doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just kind of going with it. We had an idea, we put it together. Brasenio gave us the plan, and we did the best to execute the plan. But I think next year we know now some of the particulars. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that got to be done before we even open up shop on Saturday morning. These things got to be in place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
LeBron should go. We got to get through the show, bro. We got to get through the show. The LeBron thing is done and over, bro. He strong-armed the industry, dog. He Suge-knighted the shit. He Suge-knighted it.
So, yeah. So, and listen, next year the combine is gonna come rolling around. I'm just gonna ask you guys that and look back. I'm gonna be posting some more stuff today, some of the 40 times, because I realized I didn't post it, so y'all can see how the 40s went. Stay in tune and stay locked in with that New England Combine. We're gonna have additional vendors out there. And when I say vendors, I'm talking about workout vendors. Where your kid, a lot of those kids, Tito, found new trainers to work with that they didn't even know about. You know, they found position trainers like, oh, you can help my son accomplish this, and they got numbers. That's also what it's about, right? Putting kids with trainers that you and I know that there's some credibility that come along with working with them, and that's interesting too. Now we had some trainers drop out, some for definitely good reasons, and prayers to those. And then we had some drop out and pull out and never call us back, and we know we'll never do business with those people ever again, because when it came down to it, they just didn't respect.
I knew a couple of them was. I knew a couple of, you know, I already knew what it was going to be. I told you my feelings on it from the get-go, and it turned out exactly the way I said it. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, you know,
the show will always go on. The show will always go on. As long as we're attached to it, the show goes on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The show goes on.
It was a great show. Make no mistake. It was over 50 kids that registered. Each session, I mean, you can see the numbers. It was a good group with each session. You know what I'm saying? I
think we had more like 60 kids. We had more like closer to 60. We had a plus 50. It was plus 50. Each group was over 25. I know for sure. Each group was over 25. Which, trust me, that's all we could have handled year one. That's all we could have handled year one. If there would have been any more kids, we'd have been in trouble. We'd have been in big trouble. So it worked out the way it should have worked out.
Tito, let's get into it. The Connecticut Youth All-Star Game, everybody, is 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. Tito, I'm going to give you your credit right now. I have never in my life changed an All-Star Game uniform based on what nobody said. I think 860 coaches fumbled the bag. I should have stuck with the lime green, and I let all the coaches decide, and you were the only one that said, Phil, why are you listening to dudes? Stay with the lime green. And I dropped the red today, and everybody want to tell me I like 203 more. That's what they want to tell me. I like 203 more. Now, that's hot. Not that the white won't look clean. Too many times, people look at uniforms in a vacuum, Tito. If I show you a uniform, Tito, you may not like it. But if I show you 25 kids walking out with the same exact uniform, it brings to life the thoughts I had. I'll never again do it again. Rachel, no, you are not on the committee. The committee will remain in my brain. The committee will remain in my brain. That's it. I am going back to what I did year 1, 2, and 3, Tito. And I will come up with a design and release it and get criticized the hell for it. I should have kept it the same. Nonetheless, let's not act like the units are hot. They're hot. It's going to be a great game. 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 Modern Warfare versus the Black Ops, Tito. All right, are we ready to make predictions, or are we waiting the next week?
You got to make the prediction. You know
this is what I'm going to do.
Across the board.
This is what I'm going to do.
860 across the board. I ain't got to be neutral. You got to be neutral.
I am going to make predictions on a game today. I'll give you the other 5 next week. What prediction would you like out there? Y'all tell me in the comments. Y'all tell me the prediction y'all would like, and I'll give you the prediction. And I'm usually right. Though I didn't think 203. I thought last year 860 would win an additional game, and it came up short. What prediction would y'all like? What team? 8U, 9U, Orange Bowl, Peach Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Sugar Bowl. What bowl game would you like me to give a prediction on? Tell me. I'm willing to give the prediction. I'm a man up and give the prediction of one of the games. And I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to stand on a prediction that anybody would like me to give a prediction on. Oh, okay. The LeBroners are still writing me. Okay, listen, y'all. Fine. Y'all happy with the pick? Cool. I'm a Lakers fan, so I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be there rooting for little LeBron like he was Kobe. That's what Laker fans do. Jesus Christ, they won't let it go. Here's my prediction at 9U. Tito, I'm going with 9U prediction. You ready?
Go ahead.
9U prediction.
Don't fumble the bag.
203 9U is going to get the ball first on a coin toss, Tito. They're going to get the ball. They're going to get a first down. They're going to be really pumped up. 203 9U will get the first down, Tito. The first play in the second set of 4 downs, they'll get sacked for a loss. On the second play, they're going to fumble the ball, and Matt and those guys are going to take over. So Fred's going to go slapping hands off the field because his defense shut him down. And here come Rodney Myers with his offense, and they're going to score within the first 5 plays. Then they're going to get the ball, and everybody going to be like, uh-oh, Chris, you guys better do something. Sid, y'all better do something. And I think at that point, Fred's going to stop him on a 4-and-out and score, and the game's going to get out of hand. I predict the score will be approximately 26-0. 9U 860. 26. I don't have any. I shouldn't have did this before I gave out the 203 uniforms. They're going to roll on me when they see me. But let me tell you why I say that. And I could be wrong. Here's a couple reasons why I say that. One is, and I'm going off of, I like having a history of things that I can base my facts on. One, you have a staff that has coached in the All-Star game before on the 860 side. The 203 side is new to the All-Star game. I know you think it don't matter. I can coach anywhere, but it matters, right? It matters. It's probably going to be the biggest crowd that they've coached in front of. 2, we're coaching from the sidelines. Third, Tito, is the 860 players. I'm getting written. I don't know what the phone. The 860 players played last year, and they were way outrunning the 203 players. So unless 203 can overcome 26 points of coaching and talent with the new draft class, I just don't see how they overcome that. That was hard to do. And so for me, I'm taking the 9U 860 26-6 or 26-0. I think it'll be somewhere around that. I am not here to give y'all motivation, 203, because I know that's what's about to happen. Y'all going to splice this up. Y'all going to take this clip, and y'all going to run it over and over and over again. But I'm here to tell you, and look, this is the first year as of yet, and 203 can attest to this, I have not seen both sides. So this is not a testament to what 203 have or the talent or the kids, because they got talented kids. I know they got a dog running back. I know they got talented kids, but I have not seen no team. I have not seen them practice. Have not seen 860 practice. They'll tell you I dropped off their coaching shirts, Tito, and left. Remember, they was at Cronin. I came to Andy. So, and when you were there, I don't know. But my prediction is 9U 860, Tito. What do you think about that?
I mean, bro, I gotta ride with the fam, my nigga. Like you put me, this which way I'm going. Like,
do you think the score is closer? Is more like that? I know you think 860 going to win. Do you think that they're going to win by more? Are they going to push the 40 mark? Or do you think they can push that? Because that's what they're going for. I can tell you that.
I only know a couple players on the other side, so I'm trying to give it my non-biased view. You get what I'm saying? Like let's remove the fact that the head coach is a Korea.
Let's remove the fact that
I just think there's more. I think there's more firepower. There's more offensive firepower on A60 side, and in this game, in this particular game, that is going to be a problem for whoever lines up over there. A60 got a lot of offensive firepower, a multitude of ways, and I think ultimately, especially at 9U, where the space is much greater because the kids are much smaller, that's going to be a huge factor in that game.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I think A60 gonna run. I would give predictions on 8U. 8U is always the toughest one for me because there's a lot of new kids always
in this game. That game, that's very much like 14U at 8U. It's always gonna be closer than what is not gonna be because
you don't think they're runaways at those.
Even if talent is close to equal, kids play up for this game, and you could never. I could never call 8 or 14 either way. Like going into it, well, obviously, if I'm coaching, I'm thinking we're gonna win. But I know from being a part of this game, that game is always traditionally, except last year at 14, the 2 years I was a part of it prior, the 2 out of the 3, it came down to 2 or 3 total points. I'm expecting that this year. I don't expect a runaway. I expect it to be a game that's going to come down the wire. I think 8U is going to be the same way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we'll get a runaway in the 10, 11, 12 area. If there's going to be 40-point games, it'll be a surprise in one of those games for me. I don't see anyone winning by 40. I don't see a running clock on any level. I think all teams are good enough to hold people under 40 points. 40 points is hard to accomplish. I don't think people realize we get caught up so much in fall football, and we see these large wins that in an all-star game, the kids are usually got enough heart and enough talent and enough skill to hold people lower than what they would do if they were playing a fall team with the same amount of skill. Gil said 203-9U run behind Josiah, slow the game down. It's going to be a tough one for 203 though. Hey Gil, the problem is if 203-9U go down early.
He's yo. Hold on, I met that young man this week. That for 9 years old, I don't think we got one that big on this side. I'm gonna be honest. We got some big boys. I don't know if we got big and athletic like that. That Brenda kid's a big kid, a big athletic kid too. Like that.
He is.
Perfect for Mud Dog University. Perfect for Mud Dog University.
He's a big boy, man. He's a big boy. He's gonna be a lot there. If he utilized right.
The only reason I know he was part of the combine. He was one of the kids that was at the combine.
If he's utilized right, he could make it a difficult day. But here's the problem: you can't go down, Tito, and slow the game down. The only way 203-9U will be able to go down, to slow the game down and do what Gil's saying, is you have to play equal or on top.
You got to stay within, or stay within 6 or 7. You got to stay within 6 or 7.
Yeah, but you're going to have to
break late
because A60 is going to keep scoring, Tito. A60 is going to keep scoring, so you're going to have to keep up.
I think what Gil is saying, if 203 takes the air out of the ball and just go take their time in and out the huddle, matriculate the ball. We know how the A60, our people could get, when shit slows down on you, the good old New Britain melt, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Especially when things ain't moving at the speed you want it to move at.
Yeah, no, you're
But
right. But
there's still a lot of firepower. There's still a lot of firepower. A60 got a lot of firepower.
And you can't slow it down when they get the ball. You got to stop them.
There's a lot
and
of
I
firepower.
don't believe A60 won't put up less than 25 points. I think that they have enough skill. Dog, they got Cooper is nice, bro. Like, that kid is nice, Tito. I saw this young man win a regional championship game, dog. Like, do some amazing stuff and just completely take Waterbury's 9U game and say, you know what? 30 seconds left in this game. We're going to be regional champions. Yes, you got the ball. Thank you. And I'm going the other way for 70. Like, I seen some of him, and he was the MVP last year. He plays what, running back and D-line? Right?
I believe he's a fullback and
I don't
linebacker,
know. He's
maybe outside linebacker. I think he's a second. I believe he's a second level defender.
Yeah. Oh, he's second level. Okay, but I don't know. They got him. They got AV. Remember, they got all of the MVPs last year is on this team, and so you got to match that level of skill. I'm not going to talk much about 11U. I'm not going to give a prediction, but I will say this. 203 11U has the big names that we know. I mean, we just saw Bowman at our combine.
They're the opposite. They're the opposite. They're the opposite of the 9U. In that situation, the 11U on the other side's got a lot of firepower, offensively and defensively. They got a lot of firepower.
Well, I was getting
somewhere. Got a lot of firepower.
I was getting somewhere. They got freak athletes and athletes that we know. At 6, Godfrey. They got Bowman. But A60 has a lot of talent. Just nobody has ever heard of it. And I think right now, this game is about to introduce the state of Connecticut to a bunch of new football players that we just don't talk about, Tito. Because I am probably 99% sure that the best quarterbacks that will play in this game is on A60. I have not seen the 203 quarterbacks. It's not a knock. When I see them, I'll give a better assessment. But I seen the A60 quarterbacks, Tito, and they're really, really, really good. They're really, really well-sized children, and they're really, really talented. Now, 203 this team of 203, I think they won by what? Almost 40 points last year? I mean, they got probably the best running back in New England. I mean, you said this. They got the best player. 203 has the best player. Like, make no mistake about it. I mean, the best player in the game would be on the 203 side.
Like I will agree to that. And I'm not saying names. I'm not saying names. I think I know who it is. I know who it is. I know who it is. It's tough. You can't even argue. It's tough to argue. The total package.
Yeah. 11U got the names. 12U is the same thing, because I think that a lot of times we know large names of AYF kids and a few Pop Warner kids outside of West Haven and Pop Warner who do a great job promoting their kids. There's not a lot of kids in the Pop Warner hemisphere that gets promoted well, right? And so we know West Row and their 12U kids, and we know AYF kids. There's a lot of hidden Pop Warner gems that I think we may find out in this game. And so 12U, 203, everybody has thrown the bag and just made the assumption they're going to win because they got the bus. They got King, right? Like, they got the players on their side. Actually, they don't even know who A60 got. I don't think they know one name player on that side. And so, to me, that would give an advantage to 860 because it's easier to prepare for, not easy in the sense that you can stop them, but when you're playing against King, you know what you're getting. A dog, a kid that can catch anything that's in the air at any time. He's a lockdown corner, and he's gonna come up the hit. The bus is gonna run through everything and probably be at DN. Like, you know what you get. You don't know how to prepare for a group of kids. You don't know what they got. And I think that's the problem at 11 and 12 youth for 203. But that's also the plus for 203 to have that level of talent. 14U, Tito. Whew. I don't know what Ty got. We all know you got the big dog, Dayton. We all know that, I don't know. I haven't seen the guy get stopped last year. I mean, I think in the second half, you said, you know what? Let's run right at him and call it a day. And they couldn't stop it. I don't know what the game plan is this year, but I do know that 860 14U won't get blown out. They're too talented to get 40 points on them. I would say that. I don't know what Ty looked like. Last year, I knew Ty was a problem because I saw their kids. I'll have a better assessment next week. I'll be attending 203 practices this week. Next week coming up. And I'll have a better assessment of the 203 teams. I haven't seen all of the 860 teams. Maybe I need to go to a couple practices. So next Wednesday's podcast, I can give a real assessment. Oh, next Wednesday is the 4th of July, so we probably won't be on. But 10U 203. Ooh. I think this is going to be Chris' hardest year, Tito. Chris. Gil.
But that's another situation where the offensive firepower, there's a lot.
To 860.
860's 10U. You talk about firepower. All right, I'm gonna go out.
That might be the game that has the most firepower.
They got the greatest consortium of talent in that. However they arrange those pieces. However they decide to arrange those pieces.
Oh, next Thursday the 4th, David. Thanks, Damon. I mean, so we could do Wednesday because Thursday the 4th. But yeah, 860 10U. Ooh, I don't know how you stop them, bro. I don't like. They can beat themselves because it's football. We can all beat ourselves. But yeah, I don't know, Tito. I'm not making no assessment. I have not seen Pierce team, and you know you can't really in this game go against Chris Pierce because he's been successful.
It's 3-0.
3-0.
3-0.
The first year was
no.
close year, and then he had just 2 blowouts. But he got his work cut out for him this year. It's gonna be tough for him. I'm gonna tell you that it's gonna be tough. We got 8 minutes.
We got like 5
Everybody
minutes.
Want to go watch the Trump versus Biden. So Tito, I ain't gonna say no names, but I got a call from a coach out here in Connecticut. He called me and he said, "Hey Phil, I'm from the hood. I don't talk about me on your podcast." He said, I had wars in Hartford, and when I had wars in Hartford, I had never heard of your name. And so I'm just letting you know, I know where you practice and I can come beat you up. He called my phone and said this. Listen, Tito, real quick. He also said stuff about you, remember? But it's funny. But anyway, listen, dog. I never. That was weird to me to have somebody call me and tell me that they were tough and I should be scared of them. That never really happened to me. I thought once you get over 40, you don't usually call people and tell them I'm very, very tough because what I did in the past. I talk about it all the time.
Coming to get you.
There's a lot of people that's tough and dead, and there's a lot of people that's in jail and suckers. People got to remember that. But so for the record, Tito, that leads me to talk about: is there a level of recruiting that goes beyond the pale of recruiting where it crosses the boundaries? For instance, if your kid came home and he said, "Dad, Coach Phil offered me to take me to Six Flags with him and his son, and you never met me. Just because I want your son to play for me, I'm offering him to take him with me." I don't get the correlation to football with that. And to me, that weirds me out a little bit. The person that brought all the
weird.
A lot of stuff to light was a person that was approached like that. What's your thoughts on where is the recruiting line crossed?
I mean, I think that's once you start getting in kids' inboxes and you're an adult, if you do that type of thing, to me, that's crossing the line. If you promise kid, oh, I'm gonna take you to the mall and that's crossing the line. They're not your children to be bringing them anywhere. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just think there's supposed to be a line of morality, and with that is all these kids got parents. You could approach their parents if you're interested in that kid playing in your team. Once you start trying to approach the kid, I just think that's some weirdo shit. And when you do shit like that, there's a certain particular person we know that's going through hell right now because he crossed the line and, and rubbed the wrong parent the wrong way, who went and pulled this shit up, and it's a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? It's an absolute nightmare.
True.
So I think the lesson to be learned is, bro, it ain't that serious. If you want a kid that bad, there's a way. You find out who the guardian is, the parent is, approach them like a man is supposed to, and handle it professionally. Don't be trying to sell the kid a world, talking directly to the kid without going through. I know I'd have a problem if it was my kid. I would definitely have a problem, and I'm not running no background. I'm checking the person myself. Like, what are you doing?
I do agree that you should go out and recruit kids. This is a business. Go ask kids to play for you. I don't call kids.
You should go through the parent. You shouldn't be approaching the kid, like speaking to the kid like it's an adult. At the end of the day, they have a guardian usually when they're involved in sports. You need to find out who's responsible for that kid and go. To me, that's the way I would go about it. I'm not saying how anybody else goes about it. That's how I would go about it. But there's a way to do things. And you trying to manipulate the process and go directly through the kid and getting in their inbox and messages, that's creep shit, in my opinion.
Hey, Tito, I'm going to say this. You and I spoke and we talked about how having the best players always masks your ailments as a coach. It masks your lack of ability to coach, right?
All your shortcomings.
You're super talented. You can call the wrong play at the wrong time and still score a big long run or a touchdown on it. When you're that talented, you can make those type of mistakes and do it. And I believe that we're at an age where we want to be able to say we're great, because don't nobody see losers that can be great. And maybe they shouldn't, but think about that though. Like, don't nobody in today's world, in New England football, let's talk about youth football. Nobody in youth football views any coach as being great that's not winning. What's the first question you get when you talk to them people and you say, yo, I can coach? Yo, how many regional championships you won, Tito? Right. Like that is seen. And I say that to say that creates the bar. And so what that translates is I need to do whatever I can to be considered great. Because let's be honest, we all want to be considered great. And so what you do, you cross over the line. You call a kid and you jump in the kid inbox. You say, yo, come with me to Six Flags during the All-Star practice, which we had to check the same coach for that. Come with me to Six Flags for All-Star practice. And we said, whoa, you can't. The kid come and go, Coach Phil, so-and-so offered me to go to Six Flags. I'm like, yo, you can't do that. You can't offer a kid to go to Six Flags. What are you doing? You can't do this stuff. And
look,
we, as in our
that particular situation, look who blew the whistle on him. Obviously, he didn't know. He didn't do his homework. He didn't know who he was dealing with.
The fact of the matter
whoever
is,
the mother was had access to a lot of things. Whoever it was had access to a lot of things that didn't work out for him. Didn't work out for me at all.
And so we talk about.
And now he about to blow. And he fitting to blow trial. But we ain't gonna get into all of that.
I think it's important that as a coaches out here, yes, go out and recruit. You are supposed to try to get the best players you can to come play for you. It's nothing wrong with that. We all have that duty because we all have a duty to staff our program and our team with the best kids possible. Keeping them off the streets. We doing all the right things when we get them. I give everybody that. It ain't just me. It ain't just Tito. It's y'all too, right? But just be careful on how we go about that. We were asked to talk about this from parents, by the way. We were asked to bring this up.
You should not be, and we know he ain't. We know this particular person ain't the only one. There's a whole group of them low life degenerates that be in these kids' inboxes, selling them the world. And to me, that's over the that's way below the line of where we're supposed to be as a network.
It is 9 o'clock. The fight is officially about to happen. I'm about to go watch this BS so I can laugh and joke about it. I'm heartbroken over LeBron James' son going to LA, and I'm just, it's a travesty that what happened. Tito,
I can't wait to hear Stephen A. I can't wait to hear Stephen A. on this.
It is a dark day in LA. And with that being said, we out. Holla at y'all.